Worldwide parent coach and conscious educator Sue DeCaro is on a mission to revitalize the joy in parenting. Welcome to Conscious Parents, Thriving Kids, a podcast designed to help parents all over the world create deeper connections with themselves and their children while overcoming life's daily parenting challenges. Listen in if you want to bring more laughter, love, and enjoyment to your home life.
Welcome to Conscious Parents, Thriving Kids, a place for all things parenting. I am your host, Sue DeCaro. Today's episode is about the art of lying. I believe we need to talk to a child and listen to their point of view. Allowing children to express themselves by teaching and encouraging them to use their words is crucial. Every single child needs to be seen, heard, and valued. So why do children lie? I found myself pondering this day after day when my kids were young. It took a lot for me to move through this, but I did, and I hope to help you with it as well. As a parent coach, I have found numerous parents I work with are also asking themselves this question and asking me. Through the years of my own parenting journey, my extensive certification programs and practices, I have come to understand more about the art of lying. Lying, in my experience, occurs because of a few obstacles that are preventing the truth. Our children want to be heard. All children need to feel that they have an opportunity to use their voice and share their thoughts and their feelings about whatever is important in their lives. When we give them the power to speak, we enable a depth of connection and contact that might have otherwise not existed. When our kids share their thoughts about the use of technology, for example, or going somewhere, or whatever it is that is important to them at that moment. And as a parent, we fully listen and try to understand their view with compassion and mindfulness. It can make an enormous difference. Just listening to their point of view. Now, this doesn't mean that we accept every point of view they have or see everything exactly as they do, but we do our best to understand where they are coming from. In more recent years, my children's opinions and views have been heard, and I have tailored my responses. This has not only enabled them to feel empowered and part of the conversation, but it had also prevented them from lying in the past. So again, I'm not saying that we should say yes to our children's requests all the time in order to prevent them from lying, but rather I'm focusing on empowering our children to calmly use their voice and for us as parents to hear it. If we do that, we can make the best decision on the topic at hand with all the information from our perspective as well as from theirs. Another great obstacle that can contribute to lying is when children feel that they're going to get in trouble for the things that they do or experience. When they don't have a voice that is being heard and feel like they lack a depth of connection with their parents, they try to avoid the consequences. It becomes easier to lie than risk getting in trouble. No child wants to get in trouble. Consequences are actually a big piece of the puzzle in the disconnection between parent and child. Consequences can truly make a child proficient in the art of lying. I know this to be true from my own experiences. Every action that was concerning for me and my kids had a consequence, one that I enforced. I was a very controlling parent when my children were young. And when kids are faced with consequences for actions with no voice, they become very clever at finding ways to do what they want to do in their life and lie about it. However, when concerning behaviors are used as teaching tools and opportunities for sharing, communicating, and learning, there's not much need for a child to lie. They are not in need of avoiding the punishment. So again, let me just rephrase that. When we are able to communicate and discuss the actions that our children move through, or the situations that occur in their lives that may be concerning for us, but we discuss them with our children and listen to our children as they share what happened and why, we can then help our children look at the situation in a different way and perhaps offer them the question of what could you have done differently, so that they're not feeling as if every time they make a quote-unquote mistake, which they will, they're going to be punished. In my home, as the line continued, I learned that the punishment and punishing was not working. My children weren't learning anything at all, except how to avoid punishment by sneaking around, and they were good at it. They were lying and staying clear of me. So, from my experience through my own growth as a parent, I learned that the best thing for me was to focus on the connection, allow for open communication and discussion and learning from mistakes or choices, not punishing them. When I was able to let go of the punishment part, the relationships grew and the lying diminished. My children began to share their life with me without the fear of judgment, consequences, and discipline. I worked hard to stay in neutrality, to listen, and to ask questions that help them process their own choices and their own decisions. This change contributed to creating much more peace and harmony in my family and my life. So in order to keep this unfortunate art form from taking over, I recommend openly communicating with your children, giving them a voice that is actually heard, empowering them to be part of the discussion, and using the conversation and openness as a means to teach, not punish. This is a beautiful opportunity to create more connection and to avoid this form of disconnection. Many parents that I work with around the world are really focusing on connecting deeply with their children, emphasizing the open communication as opposed to fear of consequence. I know this may seem like a big task and a big order, so I'm here for you if you would like some support. Please feel free to reach out to me, sue@takeroparentcoaching.com. Thank you for joining me, and remember, every moment is a new moment for conscious connections.
Thanks for listening to Conscious Parents, Thriving Kids. If you like what you heard, the best compliment you can give us is to share this podcast with a friend. And be sure to give us some stars and a favorable review at Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen in.